started in GCW in 2019, and my second match ever was for the GCW World Championship against Nick Gage. And at the time, it didn't even feel like something I was supposed to reach because I didn't come into GCW as a known guy or anything. I was still trying to prove that I even belonged in the room. I gave my body to pretty much everything that I could before ever earning a championship. Eventually, I made the decision to sign a contract with Circle 6 Entertainment for 2 years with an extension. So between that and some personal differences, I stayed away from GCW during that time. And even when I returned to GCW, I still wasn't chasing a championship. You know, like I didn't come in here asking Brett for a championship run. Personally, I was more focused on rebuilding trust, handling my own business, and I don't know, proving that I could be depended on again. For example, the day that I won the title in 2025, I didn't even know that I was winning the title until that day at like 1 p.m. or something like that. So I don't know, it kind of meant something different to me. At the same time, I understood, exactly what it came with. It wasn't just being handed a championship. I was being trusted to represent the largest independent wrestling company in the world at the highest level. I took that responsibility very serious.
A lot of people scared to face Slade, and I understand why. I've wrestled him probably 5, 6 times now, and I always wake up the next day feeling a little bit more sore than I was.
I never wanted my championship matches to feel like the same fight with different people standing across from me. Every single championship defense needed a reason to exist. Do you hear that? Every single championship match needs a reason to exist. I felt like if somebody was paying to watch me defend the championship, then I felt like it needed to matter, right? And something that I wanted to clarify. I guess a lot of people ask me what changed when I became champion, because I talked about welcome to the new timeline and stuff like that. I wanted GCW to feel unpredictable again. I wanted people to believe that anything could happen. Like anybody could step forward and any night could become important. But I wanted the GCW World Championship to sit at the center of that uncertainty. I think one of the things I wanted to change the most is I wanted the GCW World Championship to be something that somebody is willing to change themselves for. The championship became less about occupying the top position and going last, and more about creating a movement underneath that championship so it mattered. New people started feeling important, different matchups became possible, stories started crossing into each other and places they normally wouldn't. To me, the GCW championship started to move different because, the roster had to find their place in this version of GCW. And that's what the new timeline was about. I wanted to change what fans thought was possible from just an independent wrestler. I wanted people to really step up. I set the bar high outside of just the matches on purpose.
Dude was at the motherfucking gas pump. He had a machete. On guard. So he was chasing dude. Dude ran the restaurant, tried to hold the door closed. Dude was yanking on the door. So everybody moved him around. He came out and home with the pistol. He inside the restaurant still waiting. So home come out with a machete, go to chopping his rearview mirror. His mirrors on the car. Hit the passenger side. Hit the driver's side. Shit, home came out with the tool and shit, it was on and popping.
Okay, so the Bray Wyatt inspired gear was super important to me because I didn't want it to come off like it was me wearing his clothes, and I didn't want it to come off like it was me ripping him off or borrowing his character. The entire point was to build a tribute through my own identity. Okay, so in the video I talk about Joe Gacy coming on my TV screen after Wyndham's death. I talked about the idea of feeling jealousy because part of me believed that I should have been the person standing there in that pig mask. So instead of recreating something that Bray has already done, I took that feeling and created the Fiend pig. And, I had actually been flashing that at the start, like in the vignettes and stuff, before anybody even knew anything about these promos. Even the entrance was connected to, everything going on. In the Firefly Funhouse, going through that door meant entering the Fiend's realm. At the end of my promo, you see me walking towards that same door. But then in my entrance, it begins by taking you through the door, and it was never supposed to be like a collection of just random things Bray did. I was telling my own story with it, from the teasers to the trailer to the promo to the QR codes that I was attaching to the photos I was posting, to the entrance gear. Everything was one continuous story. Professional wrestling's always been in my life. My brother Atticus Cogar was 6 years old when I was born, so wrestling was already kind of blaring through the hallways of our little rundown crib. I became obsessed why certain people stayed with you longer after the show, and that's when I found Bray Wyatt. I remember hearing that man say something at one of the most important crossroads of my childhood. Something that changed the entire trajectory of my life.
I got something to say. There are several different types of men in this world. There are men who dream and never make it off their couch. There are men who dream and fail. And then there are men who dream and change the landscape of this world.
I have a neurodevelopmental condition that kind of predisposes me to developing super intense and highly focused interests. And from that day on, I consumed everything that man did. Every promo, every interview, every character. I bought the shirts, I wore the sheep mask. People compare wrestlers by what they do in the ring today, but I was so inspired by what that man was able to make people feel. and you know, we already use the pig as the Cogar symbol. So as kids, I used to joke around with my older brother, and I used to dream with him and say, you know, one day we're gonna get signed and we're gonna work with Bray Wyatt. And, you know, maybe he'll need some guys in pig masks to walk out with him. And then one day, the future that I had written in my head disappeared. The conversation that I had been practicing became impossible. As I grieved for a chance to say thank you, you appeared on my TV screen in honor of Bray Wyatt while wearing a pig mask. And for the first time in my life, I felt jealousy. Not because it was you, but because you were standing inside of a dream that I had been carrying since I was a child. Now, all of these years later, life took that dream away from you too, Joseph Sawyer. I have spent years wondering what it would be like to stand where you stood. And then I woke up. I woke up and realized this lie I've been living in. Maybe honoring someone who inspires us isn't about becoming who they were. It's about proving that what they created still matters. I was taught that I could create my own world and make people believe in it. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly where you fucked up, Joe. You were never taught. You only lived in his world. And now you're stepping into mine. You don't know what West 48 made me. Family Born Gang Vandal 48 till the day I fucking die. You got to live inside of a dream that I have carried for half of my life. And now, you get to find out exactly what survived when that dream died. Put the fiend pig on the bandana mask for the same reasons. You know, like I could have had a crazy fiend pig mask made, but I didn't want to feel like I was abandoning myself too much. The bandana masks, it's kind of like part of who my family and I are. So I wanted to take Bray's influence and bring it into my world. But honestly, the most sentimental piece to me is probably the jacket. When I was younger, I owned a Bray Wyatt shirt with a sheep on it that said, "Find me." So for this gear, I wore a leather jacket as like an homage to the jackets that the Fiend wore, except mine said, "I still cannot find you," on the back because I never got to meet Wyndham. But the pants were probably like my favorite part because every section of the pants represented like a different part of Bray's career. On the front leg, I used the black and red pinstripes associated with the Fiend. The other leg used the exact style of the Hawaiian pattern that Bray was wearing during the promo that originally inspired me as a kid, which is the same footage that, you know, I used in my promo. On the back, one of the legs had the buzzards flying up, which is a tribute for Follow the Buzzards, and the other is Bray Wyatt's pants, or the pattern of his pants rather, when he was WWE champion. Even the shirt that I had on had history behind it. It was an homage to the first Wyatt family shirt that I ever owned as a kid, which I think is the first one they ever even released. And I guess to cap it all off, I had the mask underneath my bandana mask. I was wearing the skin face mask from a special Joe Gacy attire that he wore, I think back in like 2018. So I guess the gear was like a way of saying that Bray Wyatt's work reached me and changed me and became part of the language that I use to tell my story.
It seems like Atticus has had enough. Slap to the face.
Sawyer!
Champ!
Wait!
Oh, it's this.
What?
It's this masked individual.
Oh no! Hey! Is that a taser? What?
Tell your family, you know what I'm saying? This rap game is a way of life for us, you know what I'm saying? We just not in the studio doing nothing. Everything we do, we just try to put it down, have everybody come up.
Max Recon!
Hey, no! Whoa! It's someone else just dragged.
It's the PS. On the scope. Oh my!
People from his past. Speaking of the past, give it up. Sister Abigail. Whoa, no! Got the cover! And a new GCW World Champion, Joseph Sawyer.
The winner of the match and new Game Changer Wrestling